Welcome to everybody. Today we are going to discuss through the presentation on the topic National Education Policy 2020 on the perspectives of holistic development and value education. The National Education Policy places a strong emphasis on holistic development and value-based education to transform learners into well-rounded, responsible, and capable individual rather than focusing only on academic achievements. Let us we try to study through the presentation. Here in a first slide we can see the introduction. Hence it shows that NEP 2020 is a landmark reform in Indian education. Focus on holistic and value-based learning. Aims to develop well-rounded individuals. So, what do we understand by holistic development? It means nurturing all dimension of a learner's personalities. That is, holistic development implies cognitive development, emotional and social development, physical development, artistic and aesthetic development, moral and ethical developments. In the next slide, here we can see that overall development of learners, that is physical development. Physical development implies integration of sports, yoga and health educations, promoting fitness and well-being as essential part of education. Next, emotional development. Emotional development implies building empathy, cooperation, and emotional intelligence. Next, social development. It implies encouraging teamwork, communication, and respect for diversity. Next, intellectual development. Intellectual developments, that is, we can say that cognitive developments, implies focus on critical thinking, focus on problem solving, and focus on creativity, and shift from rote learning to conceptual understanding. Hence, you can see that in a diagram, holistic developments included to mental development, in spiritual development, social development, physical development, emotional development. Next, objectives of NEP 2020. What is the objectives? Objective is that develop critical thinking and creativity, promote ethical values and responsibility, build 21st century skills. Hence, we can see that in a diagram, the component of this communication management, examination management, student information system, homework management, library management, and dashboard reporting and analysis. Shift and education approach. Shift in education approach. It says us that from rote learning to conceptual learning, education approach says that from teacher centered to learner centered, and from theory to experiential learnings. Hence, the diagram shows that breaking down theoretical silos, multidisciplinary approach, skill-oriented education for future careers, choice-based credit system, flexibility in entry and exit, vocational education, integration, technology, enabled learning, assessment, reforms, preparing for live learning, that is global mobility and recognitions. Multidisciplinary educations. It implies that integration of arts, integration of science, integration of sports, integration of vocational subject, that is no rigid separation of streams. In diagram, that is, we can see the thrust area, the area of multidisciplinary education is multidisciplinary and holistic education, digital empowerment and online education, skill development and employability, research innovation and entrepreneurship, capacity building of teacher for quality education, governance and autonomy, quality, ranking and accreditation, equality and inclusive education, promotion of Indian language and Indian knowledge system. Curriculum reforms. Curriculum reforms implies that reduce content load, that says that reduce curriculum content to focus on essential learning, stress for and focus on core concept, that is focus on core concept and flexible subject choices. Hence, we can see that the critical feature of NIP 2020, the new academic structure, curricular reform, strategic pedagogy, multilingualism, multilingualism, strategic assessment, holistic development, and continuous professional developments. Next, skill development. Skill development, there we can see that skill development means development of problem solving skill, development of communication skill, development collaborating, and development of digital literacy. Hence, in the diagram we see that increasing inclusivity in early education, focus on open and distance learning, emphasis on multidisciplinary education, multiple entry and exit points, continuous and holistic assessment, medium of teaching and language education, and focus on skill development. Value education in NIP 2020. Value education in NIP 2022 promotes us integrity, promotes us empathy, promotes us respect and responsibility. That is, respect for others and diversity, constitutional values, that is, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Environmental awareness and sustainability, scientific temper, and rational thinking, service to society. In the diagram, NIP 2022 consists of value-based education, policy framework, and national education. Social and emotional development. Emotional means emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and teamwork. That is building empathy through the social and emotional development, builds up empathy, builds up cooperations and emotional intelligence, encouraging teamwork, communication, and respect for diversity. Next, physical and mental well-being. It implies sports and fitness. It is clarifying. It is clarified. Hence, in the diagram, you can see that it in different ways, physical and mental well-being development through the physical activity, that is playing or sports, diet and nutrition, restorative sleep, needed social connections, avoiding harmful substances. This is the lifestyle area supporting mental health. Next, assessment reform. Implies competency-based evaluations. Focus on understanding and not memorization, and continuous assessment. This is the assessment cycle. As we can see, it is measure, reflect, play, and improve. This is the assessment cycle. In the next slide, you can see that inclusive and equitable education. It implies equal opportunities. It is for all, irrespective of caste, creed, and color. Focus on disadvantaged groups. Disadvantaged group mean SC, ST, and OBC tribe. Also, gender and social inclusions. Hence, the diagram we can see that inclusive learning environment framework says that linguistic or communication environment relational environment, sensory environment, curricular environment, cultural environment, and physical environment. All are involved to inclusive and equitable education. Next, role of teachers. To develop holistic development and value education, teacher role play as a facilitator of learner of learning, promotes creativity. Teacher promote creativity and inquiry among the students, and teacher will support student-centered education. Next, impact of NAF 2020. What are the impact? NIF 2020, through the development of holistic development and value education, it create better employability, lifelong learning skill, and development of responsible citizens. In a diagram, we can easily see that impact of NIF 2020. It impact on skill development, holistic development, empathy on arts, emphasis on arts and humanities, multilingual education, focus on vocational education, effective teacher training and professional development, better accessibility to quality education, leveraging technology, strategic assessment and education evaluation system, skill developments. Last slides, we can conclude that NIF 2020 promotes holistic development, value-based education, and skill-oriented learning. So today, up to this one, thank you all of you.